Hi, hello, welcome. My name is Zack, and I apologize for the bareness of my studio. I'm still in the process of getting it set up, but Zack Snyder's Justice League is about to come out. I want to take the opportunity to go back and rewatch all the films in the DCEU and then rank them from my favorite to least favorite. Because if I've learned anything, it's that the internet loves lists, and DC fanboys love to rage at people who disagree with them. Regardless, I would love to hear your list of favorite to least favorite films in the DCEU, so please comment below, let me know your list. Let's start a conversation, a friendly, civil conversation. I mean, we probably won't agree on everything. I can pretty much guarantee my list is going to be very different than yours, but that's okay. We can have differences of opinion. We can have a friendly, healthy conversation. Just don't be a dick in the comments. That's all I'm asking. Just don't be a dick. Okay, so I better get started. I have not watched any of the films yet, so I'm going to go do that. I'll be right back. Okay, so I just finished watching all the films in the DCEU. 9 movies. I took many notes. I have so many notes, I'm not going to have time to get to everything. I'm going to just go through each film in my ranking, and we'll talk about it. Okay, let's get started with my number 9 pick, my least favorite film in the DCEU, Justice League. Came out in 2017, directed by Joss Whedon. Yeah. Okay, I thought some films leading up to this were nothing films, just completely hollow and empty. Justice League takes the cake. This film is nothing. It is so forgettable. It's just a train wreck of a film. I feel like Ben Affleck does not want to be there, and that shows. Ray Fisher deserved so much better. He's really good in this film. I stand with Ray Fisher. I really am rooting for that guy. Flash is so annoying in this film. Ezra Miller is just grating. And do you guys remember that one time Ezra Miller choked out a woman on camera? And we're not talking about that? Everyone just kind of forgot about that? That was weird. There's so many weird moments of comedy that does not work. The movie looks ugly, the script is ugly, the villain, Steppenwolf, is not threatening at all. The really bad CGI on Superman's lips. So yeah, basically Joss Whedon. I mean, not because he made a terrible Justice League film, but because he's a terrible person. So yeah, it's the bottom of the barrel for me. I hate this movie. Okay, so moving on up the list, number 8, we're still in the worst of the worst here. Wonder Woman, 1984. Came out in 2020, was directed by Patty Jenkins. I have 4 pages of notes, 2 of which are just questions. Questions this movie opens up and then never addresses. We never come back and answer these things. It's baffling. Baffling is the best way to describe this movie. I don't understand why some of these choices were made. I feel like the cast is trying. I feel like it's well directed, but the story's terrible. The whole crux of this movie is a magic rock, and decisions made I don't understand. I could probably make a video just of all the questions this film opens up and then never addresses. So, we're gonna move on. Okay, number 7 on the list. Number 7 goes to Suicide Squad, 2016, directed by David Ayer. This film is really boring. Upon my rewatch, I was just really bored with this movie. There's lots of trailer moments where a character will say a line or a quip, and it looks great in a trailer with other clips, but on its own, it just stands out and it's really awkward in the film, doesn't flow at all. So I feel like the trailer moments and just the inconsistent tone really shows in this film. I really enjoyed Will Smith and Margot Robbie. I love them. They're fantastic. Jared Leto's Joker is the worst Joker. I hate this portrayal of the Joker. And you know what? Jared Leto. I can't stand that guy either. Just put him on the list with Whedon. Let's just throw him on up there. I wrote here, overall, kind of boring with some good characters. You can tell it was supposed to be a serious war type of film, but the neon Guardians flair and the heartwarming moments were tacked on and feel tacked on. Yeah, it's not a great film. It sits at number 7. Okay, moving on up. We're getting closer to some good films, but we're not quite there. First, we have to talk about Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, 2016, directed by Zack Snyder. This film reeks of trying to catch up to Marvel so bad. They're trying to play catch up, packing in so much into this movie, and it just makes the film weak overall. Just overall, it's not enjoyable. There's just too much in here to make a good, cohesive film. I feel so bad for Henry Cavill. Guy has nothing to do in this film. Literally Superman in a film called Batman v Superman. All he does in this film is just mope. We get mopey Superman for the entire film. This movie is Batman, Superman, they don't like each other. They're dancing around each other for most of the movie. Then they have a subpar fight. Then they become best friends immediately over their shared mother's name. And then they fight Doomsday, and then Superman dies. The end. That's the film. You know, unlike a Suicide Squad or a Justice League where I just feel absolutely nothing watching them, at least this film makes me mad, I guess. I can feel something watching it. By the way, the word Martha is said 13 times in this movie. I counted. Again, I could probably make an entire video just ranting about this one film, but for the sake of time, I'm going to move on. Okay, let's talk about some good films now. So I will say, my 1 through 5, I genuinely love all 5 of these films, and putting them in an order was really difficult. Bottom 4, not so much. Trash, toss them out. These 5 are really good films. My number 5 film is Man of Steel, 2013, directed by Zack Snyder. I remember when I first saw it in theaters, I wasn't too big on the tone because it's kind of a darker, more serious take on Superman. But rewatching it, I really dug it. I enjoyed myself. And there was more hope and more positivity than I remembered there being originally. So that was nice to rediscover that, you know, this film is not all doom and gloom. It's actually a hopeful movie and a really beautiful movie. It's very well directed. Henry Cavill is great as Superman. Zack Snyder just kills it. Great action sequences. It's just a great time. It's just a great movie. This film gets a lot of criticism for the amount of destruction and Superman killing Zod at the end. I'm actually okay with Superman killing Zod. I think it was necessary. Yeah, honestly, I was surprised by how much I liked it. It was a good rewatch, and it's a good film. Now, I really struggled with my third and fourth pick. I went back and forth a lot on these two because, again, these are just great movies, and I really like them for different reasons. Tomorrow, I might feel differently, but for now, my number 4 pick is Wonder Woman, 2017, directed by Patty Jenkins. This is a really great film. It's so well directed. Gal Gadot is amazing as Wonder Woman. Chris Pine is great as Steve Trevor. Their chemistry together is just fireworks. And I love Diana when she first gets into London and she's the fish out of water and Steve's having to help her navigate how life outside of Themyscira is. It's amazing. Those scenes are so funny and it plays out so well. The action in this film is incredible. Like, I legit had chills from some of these scenes. About halfway through this film, I just sat back and I was like, yeah, this is just a great movie. Like, overall, it's just a very well made film. Like, I really don't have any complaints. Feels weird having it this low on the list, but again, these are just great films. Like, these 5 are just great, so it's really hard to put them in any kind of order. Honestly, the position of this film shouldn't be taken too seriously. It's just a great film, and any other day would be number 1. Okay, so my number 3 film is Aquaman, 2018, directed by James Wan. Aquaman is brilliant. It's a brilliant film. It plays like a fairy tale, which I love. I really loved it. James Wan is a great director. I love his other work. This film is just so well directed, and the action, again with the action, it's incredible. It's incredible. The visuals are amazing, like mind-boggling how cool some of this imagery is. And I really appreciate the comic book accurate costumes, like the Black Manta suit, Aquaman's orange and green costume, the Ocean Master costume. It looks a little bit silly, but it looks good on screen. It actually worked really well. Jason Momoa, great as Aquaman. Love that guy. I actually have a funny story with Jason Momoa. He yelled at me at a con, but it was really fun. It's funny. I'll have to tell that story one day. Amber Heard, she's the worst. She can get the right out of here. Overall, it's a great film. It's a good time. Okay, moving on up. We're getting close. Number 2 on my list of favorite films in the DCEU. Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. 2019, directed by Kathy Yan. The title, it's fun, but it's bad. I'm sorry, they should have just called this film Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. That would have been much simpler. But Titles aside, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, she's amazing. I love her. She's so much fun to watch. I love her narrating the entire film. I love the fourth wall breaks. She is so good, and she carries this movie, and she does it so well. I like the whole cast, I like the whole team of characters, but this whole movie does not work without Harley Quinn, and Margot Robbie nails it. I realized my favorites in the DCEU are more of the fun films, and this film was really fun. It's lighthearted, it's goofy, it doesn't take itself too serious. The plot's not deep, but it doesn't have to be. This film knows what it is. The tone is really good, it's really enjoyable, it's just a fun movie. And last but not least, that leaves one more film on this list. My number one pick, my favorite in the DCEU, is Shazam! 2019, directed by David F. Sandberg, and this film is great. It's absolutely wonderful. It's such a great superhero story mixed in with some magic, but it works really well. Like, there is a deep mythology, but it's not too much. It plays really well and keeps things kind of light, but also will kind of dive into some like horror moments that are actually really kind of terrifying. The villain actually is really threatening. It's got some really good effects. I love Zack in the role as Shazam. He's amazing. He's absolutely amazing. I actually got to meet him at a con a few years ago. He's a really great dude. Like, he's a really just genuinely good dude. And it's always nice to meet a fellow Zack, so there you go. I love David F. Sandberg as a director. I think his films are great. I think this film is very well directed. Yeah, this movie just has so much heart. Just my biggest takeaway was it has so much heart. It's just a really lovely film. I love the foster parents. I love the family dynamic. It just works so well. Not a lot of notes on this one just because I just really enjoy it. It's a great movie. And that was my trip through the DCEU. Thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. I appreciate it. It was quite a few hectic days of nonstop movie watching, but I'm glad I was able to go back and rewatch all these films because most of them I only saw once in theaters when they first came out, so I had forgotten a lot about these films. I just really enjoyed my rewatch. So yeah, I'm glad I was able to take the opportunity to make this video. For the sake of this video, yes, I put these films on a list, but my biggest takeaway, what I want to leave you guys with, is just don't get so caught up on listing things or deciding if something is the best or the worst. No in-betweens. It's either this or that. It's Marvel or DC. There's really no contest. Honestly, just love what you love, enjoy what you enjoy, and if someone disagrees with you, that's okay. We all have different opinions, we all like different things, and that's okay. It really is okay. Also, before I go, I wanted to apologize if I seemed a little bit stiff and like animatronic. I'm honestly a little bit awkward talking to a camera. It's kind of weird for me, but I love making videos. I love talking comics and movies, and there's some stories I want to tell, so there's a lot more videos I want to make, and I want to get better at talking to a camera, so hopefully it won't seem so weird. But once again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. My name is Zach. Subscribe to the channel for more videos in the future. I will see you guys again when Zack Snyder's Justice League comes out, and we'll put it on the list. We'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting. Until then, though, I'll see you next time. Bye.